count it down.
It's going to count it down.
Count it down. We'll be right back. Hey, what's going on? Y'all come on back in here. Y'all better come back in here.
Give y'all some time to get it together.
Get it together. Ooh. Okay, we got 4 people in the bushes. What is Jamel doing? Jamel, you wanna come on? Come on. Come on. Oh, there you go. Daddy's baby. You gonna behave today?
You've been a thorn in my side all morning.
Yes, I see you've been in there wrecking your nerves. You gonna behave today? Am I gonna have to find something?
You've been a thorn in my side all morning.
Because you can get it. You can get it too. You can get it too. Pop right in the forehead. You want? Do I need to get this on you? Huh? Just bam, right in the forehead. It's all over.
Child, poor baby.
I'll find something on him too. You know I find something, right? You don't want me to find something. You don't want Daddy to find something. Daddy loves that baby. Daddy loves the baby. You gonna come down here and sit on my lap? What? Come on. Yeah. Let me move over here. Come on. You coming?
Hey, Shar. Hey, Lisa.
You coming light skin?
Hey, Christine.
Right. He don't never do this, Joseph.
Well, let him. Because he been on my nerves all morning.
No, I know why he over here. You see the look.
The Pringles, and he saw me eating them, so he know. And they're closer to you than me.
Shout
out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
I hope you hit that notification bell.
Joseph, you got to read that message that somebody wrote yesterday.
OCW. Hey, Love Kingz.
Hey, Love Kingz. But I ain't seen them. We all been. He ain't seen them yesterday.
So, to the members, everybody that's a member, everybody who gets a t-shirt, your t-shirts have been ordered and they are on the way. As soon as we get them, I will inbox the ones of you that are friends with me on Facebook and those of you that are friends with me on Instagram. And I will get your address so we can mail you out your shirts. Love Kingz, y'all get a mug. Your mug came yesterday. I got your address, but I think I need it again. So I don't have to go scrounging through my phone for it. Your mug came yesterday, so we got your mug. And yeah, so everybody that's a member, all your stuff is on the way. We haven't forgotten you guys. We do appreciate you all. You know, in the boutique, everything is made to order, and it was a lot of shirts. So they're making them. It was a lot of shirts. It was a lot of different sizes. So they're doing all of that. The mugs came quick because it was only 2 that we had to order, and those were easier to do than the shirts. But yes, your merchandise is coming for all the members. You guys should have that sometime next month. You should have your Team McRae lifetime membership shirts. And Love Kingz, your mug is also being mailed out. We got those yesterday. I like that mug.
I do too. They are so nice.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one too. I think I'm gonna order me.
I'm gonna order mine, but I want the one I like. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm gonna order me a night mug too.
Hey Trisha.
Hey Trisha, how you
doing?
Hey
Monte.
Hey Monte, what's going on? That's Monte is with them became my little brother. I done adopted him as my little brother. You know. I love Monte. He
get a kick out of you and that damn hammer.
I know.
Jamel, you have harassed me all morning. So can I have a peaceful show?
Bye-bye.
Please?
Sit back. sit back and I'll give you
Since I've opened my eyes, you have harassed me.
I'll give you tater chips later after the show, okay? You gonna behave? Yeah.
Hey, Auntie Pee Wee.
Hey, Auntie Pee Wee.
Hey, blogs.
For those of you that joined us for Sunday service this morning, thank you, and we appreciate you for joining us for Sunday service. For those of you that don't know, on Sundays at 11 a.m., the McRae Kingz hosts Sunday service, which features our pastor of our church, Unity Fellowship Church of Newark, and that's at 23 Branford Place in Newark, New Jersey, where our pastor is Elder Kevin E. Taylor.
Hey, Monica.
And we stream his sermons every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. So for those of you that did not know, tune in on Sundays and get the message. I'm telling you, he will leave you full for the week. You know, today, Pastor said, greater is coming. Greater is coming, you know. And that's the message that I'm going to take with me for the rest of the week. Also, today is National Come Out Day.
Is it today?
Yeah.
I heard him say it's today.
Yeah, it's National Come Out Day today.
But I thought it was earlier in the week.
I thought in light of that, we would talk about our come out experience.
That's right.
So we'll talk about our come out experience.
When I came running out of the closet.
Ooh, child, yeah, I didn't come running out the closet like you did. You came running out the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, we have to now, Joseph. Can you explain to the people what coming out means? Because there may be people out there that don't know what coming out means. It's kind of like a sweet 16. No, it ain't like that. It ain't like a sweet 16 or what do they call it? A castanella or something like that. That's not what coming out is for everybody.
So coming out just means that I call it like a second birthday. Because you have your first birthday where you were born, and that's your birthday. That's always your birthday. So I call coming out the second coming out when you basically are reborn again and living in your truth and owning your sexuality of who you are. That's coming out again. So meaning you're coming out. You're telling people this is who I am, accept it or not. It's not going to change the fact that this is who I am. I'm living in my truth. You can either roll with it or you cannot roll with it.
Mm-hmm. I pray that, more people don't have to experience the bad experience that I experienced when I came out. My coming out wasn't such a good thing. I ended up in the hospital with a concussion for a week. My father came to me and he couldn't even say the word. He just said, "Are you that way?" But let me just give you just a little backstory on what happened and the reason why it happened the way it happened. I've always known who I was, and I've always known that I was gay since I was a kid, But I had I had a host of friends that were gay when I was young. I don't know if you had friends when you were young, when you were in high school and stuff like that. Did you have friends that were gay?
I tended to run from gay people.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to be my friends, but I didn't want to be friends with them.
Well, I had it was like 10 of us,
and not that it was embarrassing. It was because I felt if I was around people, well, I didn't. I just assumed people were gay in high school with me. I didn't know for sure. I just knew that the boys acted a little feminine, so I assumed that they were gay. Mm-hmm. But I stayed away from them because I didn't want to be associated with that. Mm-hmm. It was bad enough I had my own little feminine ways about me. So I didn't want to be then grouped with a bunch of people that are also being... Now in junior high school, the little crew I hung out with, all of us ended up getting lesbian.
Yeah, see, I had a crew.
It was like we knew. But it was unspoken, but it was like we knew.
Right.
We had something in common.
Right. And see, I had a crew too. I hung out with a crew too. It was like 10 of us. But my best friend, when I first entered high school, my best friend, rest in peace, who was Truman Singletary, his name was Truman Singletary. He was just flamboyant, just like flamboyant. I mean, he was just like misleading. He was that's the kind of gay he was. He didn't even have no reason to have no coming out or nothing like that because he was just ultra feminine, you know. But him and I, we were good. We were best friends, and he kind of like, you know, people didn't. I don't know. He kind of made me come out of my shell when I was in high school. But of course, my father. And my father, he really didn't pay no. I guess my father didn't pay no attention to it because my father like act like he was so surprised that I was gay. You know, whenever and I really didn't understand.
Do you think that it's surprised, or do you think that it's? I don't think it's surprised. I think it was more bam in your face. Now you know. Because as long as you assume something until somebody comes out and says, yes, this is what it is, you can make it whatever you want in your head.
Well, no, let me just say this. In high school, I had girlfriends and stuff like that. I had girlfriends. My father used to be elated, child, when I brought a girl home. He used to be like, we had one rule in the house. It wasn't nobody allowed in your bedroom. Did you have that rule?
Hmm.
Did you ever have that rule in your house?
What?
My father, when we were kids, nobody was allowed in our bedrooms.
No, we could have company in the bedrooms.
See, I wasn't allowed to have company in my bedroom.
But the shade was, if I had a girl in my bedroom, it was okay.
Yeah, see, me too.
But when I had boys in my bedroom, I had to keep the door open.
Yes.
I couldn't close the door. Because I told y'all my grandmother was a mess.
Yeah.
My grandmother and my cousin, me and my cousin Val just talked about this. And as Christian as my grandmother was and as holy as she was, she knew it. Even if she was alive right now today, I'm sure she would have found out when I got married. But if I just brought Tremel around and said, this is Tremel, my boyfriend, it was just so unspoken with me and her. It was just more of a, I know what it is. Don't tell me what it is, but I know what it is, and I'm not even going to address it for real. Like, she never, you would think as much as church as my grandmother was into, like, she would have hounded me about being gay, and she never did.
Really?
She never did. Like, she would get on me about any and everything else but that. Like, it was like she knew, I don't know, it was like she knew that that's just who I was, and it wasn't going to change. No, she never saw me.
Oh, she never saw you. Okay. See, what? But you know,
she saw me being. I'm gonna mean to cut you off, but she saw me like extra feminine. But she never saw me done up.
As Keelanda.
Right. Okay. She saw me with the blonde hair all the way down here, just combed to the back, and she knew something was up. But like I said, she never acknowledged it, except the one time. When Tracy lied and told her that I was having a baby. And Tracy said, you know, Joe's having a baby. And she said, what? Joe who? So she said, my brother. She said, your brother is having a baby. So Tracy said, yeah. She said, so whatever she was doing, let's say she was making tuna fish. She went back to making her tuna fish and said, well, if he having a baby, he gonna have to leave all them boys alone.
No, Joseph.
So when Tracy told me, I said, Grandma, did Tracy tell you I was having a baby? I don't know. She might have said something like that to me. I said, and what did you say to her? She said, I said, oh, is he having a baby? Congratulations. I said, that ain't what she said you said. She said, well, what did she say? I said, you said something to the effect of if I'm having a baby, I need to leave all them boys alone. What boys I need to leave alone? She lying on me. I didn't tell her that. Tracy, don't you lie. Tracy said, Grandma, you said that. You stood right in his kitchen and said, if he having the baby, he better leave all them boys alone. My grandma, like, it was just never spoken.
See, I wish it was that pleasant for me. It really wasn't. I had a bad experience. My dad couldn't even say the words. My father was like, Tremel, I'm going to ask you this once, and I'm going to ask you this one time, and I want the truth. And I was, when it came to serious things, I never lied to my dad. And he said, "Are you that way?" And I was like, "Yes." And right after I got the yes out of my mouth, his fist was in my mouth. And like he was punching me just like he whooped my ass. My father, he did a number on me. And I ended up in the hospital for a week. And so that was my experience.
My coming out story was a little different. I graduated high school. Mm-hmm. I started working in a bank. And at first it was cool. But then all of a sudden they just had all this influx of gay men. And, everybody, because I was there first. So everybody around me was like, why are they hiring all these gay men? And of course, they was using the F word. And I'm like, I don't know. But then they started talking to me. So I've never been a mean person or a rude person, and you cool with me, I'm cool with you. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to them, having conversations with them, but still keeping my distance because I'm like, I know what everybody think about y'all. They don't think that about me. So let me, how you doing? If you sit next to me and we have a conversation, that's fine. But I'm not getting too involved. But then there was this one. Child, we would sit there and we would talk and we would laugh because he was nice. He was just really a nice person. And I gelled with him. Mm-hmm. And it was nothing romantic or nothing like that. It was just, how you meet somebody and y'all just cool.
Right.
And that's how it was. So one day he looked at me and he said, "So, Miss Thing, you got a man?" I said, who, what? What are you talking about? Man, I ain't gay. And he was like, that's so cute.
Yeah?
Oh, you a little in the closet queen. Oh, okay. Well, I said, in the closet queen, what are you talking about? Child, you just as gay as I am, honey. I said, no, I'm not. He was like, yes, you are, child. Okay, if you want me to believe that, girl. But this is what you see me change my clothes every Friday, I'll be going to the club. So if you ever want to come to the club with me, you just let me know and bring a change of clothes on the Friday. So I'm like sitting there offended, completely offended out of my mind, offended. And I'm like, and it took 5 minutes and I'm sitting there going, did he just really call me out like that? Because I was quote unquote, if you want to call it at that time, DL. So all the men, I told you I liked the DL men. So that's who I was messing with. So it was men with wives and girlfriends that, I was.
So you was with a chance you slush, you can come through.
Right, I could come through because I was a boy. The queens knew I was a queen.
Right.
But the straight people was fooled.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I said, so you going to the club this Friday? He said, I knew it, girl. Come on, bitch. Come on out. Yeah. Free yourself. I said, okay. So we went to the club. I brought a change of clothes. And all the way there on the train, because I'm from New York. So we on the train. So the whole ride there, and my heart is pounding because I'm like, I'm about to go to a gay club. I'm about to go to a gay club. And I got there, and I told you what he told me. It was something I never forgot. He said, you only 19 years old. He said, you have one of two choices. He said, gay life is a fast life and a lonely life. You're only 19. By the time you're 25, you'll be old and a has-been. So you can either walk through those doors and become old by 25, or you can turn your fat ass around and walk back to that train station and never come through these doors and live your life the way you've been living it. Well, times when I would get depressed and get into a mood, I always remember that I chose to walk through those doors. So I went through the doors. And I like to die because I thought I had died and went to heaven, honey. Because when you in that situation, you just feel like it's you. Like, especially if you don't. I knew there was gay men around me at work and what have you, but still, it was just a certain type of gay man. Like, I didn't know that the village existed. I didn't know things that I ended up finding out later on existed. It was just me in my head. I was the only one going through this. So when I went through them doors, honey, you couldn't tell me I didn't die and go to gay heaven, honey. I was like, oh my God. The world is full of me.
Yes.
I just stood there in amazement. Like, I didn't know how to drink. I didn't know none of that. I was just a 19-year-old. First of all, they shouldn't even let me in. But I was just a 19-year-old standing there like, oh my God.
Yeah, we on
absorbing, sucking everything in. And like, oh my God, the world is loaded with me. I'm everywhere. Oh my God. Like, I felt like I had a place I belong.
See, I felt like I had arrived too, and remember the only drink you ever ordered, and this is so crazy because so many of us can tell you we started hanging out in the club at 17 and 18 years old, and they should have known, the young ones that was in the club, because all we ordered was rum and coke, or
vodka and orange juice.
Yes, or sex on the beach. Not sex on the beach.
No, that was when you graduated.
Iced tea, a Long Island iced tea, rum and coke, Heineken.
I would do rum and coke, and when I got tired of rum and coke, I just was like, I would tell the bartender, make me that little blue thing you just made him. Make me that little pink thing you just made him. Make me that little red thing you just made him. That's how I learned how to drink. And I would mix shit up like that all night long. So first I'd have a blue drink, then I'd have a pink drink, then I'd have a red drink, and everybody be like, you ain't getting fucked up. I'm like, apparently I'm lucky because I've had a high tolerance for alcohol even though I never drank.
Yeah,
because I would just mix up. Give me that red thing. Give me that. I didn't know the names of nothing, but I know I didn't like rum and even to this day.
I never drank mixed drinks.
I don't even like rum and coke to this day for that reason.
Yeah, me neither.
It's like, I didn't like it then. Because I like, when I drink, I like drinking stuff where I don't taste the liquor. So because I knew it had a fruity color to it and it smelled fruity, I wanted, even to this day. Like now, I'll drink Southern Comfort and orange juice, and that's because when you put Southern Comfort with orange juice, it's just sweet. You don't taste the Southern Comfort. And once in a blue moon, I'll do vodka and cranberry, or vodka and cranberry and orange mixed together, or woo-woo, or sex on the beach, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's what I graduated to, sex on the beach.
Yeah.
After rum and coke.
But, like I said, my experience was not that good. It really wasn't good. My dad,
hey Dwayne,
my dad was very upset with me, and unfortunately, it was the demise of our relationship. My dad and I. Things were never the same between us. As a matter of fact, I tell this to a lot of people. My dad and I weren't even speaking when he died. As a matter of fact, the day he died was the first time I had seen him in like a year, and it was like he was glad to see me when when I came over to the house. My mother had convinced me to go to the house. This is a little short story. My mother had convinced me to go to the house. She said, your dad is really, really ill. He won't go to the hospital, and we need for you to go with us to the house and, to see if you can convince him to go to the hospital. And when I walked in the door, my father was like, hey, son. And he was just like happy to see me. Long story short, I'll do a story time on that. My dad died that day. So things were never the same between us. My mom and my mom, I think, was like your grandmother. And it took me until Joseph and I got married to really realize that my mom was like really like your grandmother. My mother didn't have no problem with me being gay until she had to accept it. Until it was like right in her face. And when I proposed to you and we got engaged, she had no other choice but to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Remember we had your birthday party and I showed her our wedding pictures, and she saw us kissing? I thought she was gonna fall apart. I did. I thought she was going to fall apart. She said, oh my God. and she was like, "Oh my God, they're kissing." Like it was like she had saw, um, you know, it was like she saw the worst thing in her whole entire life. I thought my mother like she was turning white.
My mother,
Um,
we was having a conversation because me and my mother talked about everything.
mm,
We was having a conversation, and I just started telling her something, and I said, "Well, you do know I'm gay, right?" She said, "Yeah, tell me something I don't know." I don't understand what took you so long to tell me. I said, "Okay," and I finished the conversation, and it was more of an unspoken. Like my family just never. There are some that try it, and I stay clear of them because I don't really care. Like seriously, I don't care. Like first of all, I'm not around you enough to care. Second of all, I don't care. So you can kick rocks.
mm-hmm.
In actuality, I don't. And when you say some slick shit to me, this mouth is fully loaded, and y'all know that I'll say some slick shit back to you. So it's not a big deal to me. But I can't imagine. Like I just put it in their face. This is who I am. Deal with it or don't. Like I meant that. I meant I don't need you in my life. If you don't want to be there, then you don't have to be there. Luckily, they all was okay with it. Like I said, there's a few that I know is full of shit, but it's okay because you can be full of shit. You don't have to accept me or my life or my husband, but you will respect me. Period. In the story. Right. That's all I want. I don't care. I don't know nothing about their lives, the one I'm talking about, and I don't care to know nothing about their lives because if I wanted to know, I'd be involved in their life. Mm. And see, that's the part I think a lot of people miss, that they want to be so wrapped up in your life, but if I don't want you wrapped up in my life, then you're not going to be wrapped up in my life because I don't want to be wrapped up in yours. I don't care. And me and my sister argue about this all the time because she's like, "You have to care." I'm like, "No, I know you have to care because you so busy worried about what people think and what people feel about you. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if none of these people in this family don't ever speak to me again." I had a mission in my head, and when I came out, I said, as long as my mother and my sister was cool with it, fuck everybody else. And I meant that. And they was cool with it. And I meant fuck everybody else. Luckily for everybody else, they was cool with it. My cousin Val, my cousin, you see how they are. They all was cool with it. But honestly, if they wasn't cool with it, I would have separated myself from them. Because I don't have to be involved with you if we not going to do that. And I'm not going to sit there and pretend, and me and Tremel talk about this all the time. If you don't want me somewhere, I'm not coming. I'm not one of them people that's going to say, "Oh, well, I'm coming just because," and you going to sit and look at and I'm not that person. You don't want me there, bitch? Fuck you. No. I don't have to be there.
Well, see, that's how I lived the majority of my adult life, and what I will tell you is this: it's a very lonely life. It's very lonely. I know friends. I have friends that when their parents found out, they threw them out the house and they ended up on the street. That didn't happen. Well, it did happen for me later on. My father did end up because I had just gotten out of college, and so I was living with my dad, and so I ended up my father ended up throwing me out. He was looking. He found a reason. You know what I'm saying? He found a reason to throw me out, and he threw me out. Because even though I was of age, I was an adult. I was not allowed to have any guys come to the house. There were no guys allowed in my room. I was not allowed to have any phone calls from guys. If my father even thought I was on the phone with a guy, he would pick up the other line and say, "Tremel, I need to use the phone." Or if a guy would call for me or something like that, he was like, "Tremel is not accepting any phone calls." And so my father did the what they call it, deflect type thing. He tried to keep all these guys away from me, and sometimes he would get into a conversation with them and tell them, "Oh, well, he's out with another guy," or something like that. He would just like do little stuff to like sabotage me. But so my life, when I was young it was very lonely. I was very lonely because I did not. The only time I saw my family was Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's it. Every year, same routine. Thanksgiving and Christmas. If I was in a relationship with somebody, I couldn't bring them to Thanksgiving dinner. I couldn't bring them to Christmas dinner. So it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's the only time I saw my parents. Well, my mom, my dad passed away when I was 23, but that's the only time I ever saw my family because they did not. They this is what they told me, and now that I look back on it, it didn't make any sense. They said, you know, we don't agree with you being gay, but this is what my mom told me. I don't agree with you being gay, but you're my son and I love you. And all I can say to you is be careful. Because at the time when I did come out, the there was an epidemic of AIDS. And they didn't call it HIV back then, they called it AIDS. But there was an AIDS epidemic. The AIDS epidemic had just started. And it, like, guys, I came out in the 80s. You know, my mom always told me that.
Baby.
That's, oh, child, please. My mom always said to me that she loved me, but she did not agree with my lifestyle. She called it a lifestyle. And she said that I chose, she felt like I chose to be gay. I never gave being straight a chance.
Well, that's so one thing I didn't have to worry about with my mother because she knew, she watched me growing up, so she knew that something wasn't right. So that's why I don't think it took her as a surprise that I was gay. She did have some prejudices about being gay that I had to straighten her out with. And I think that's why me and my mom was as good as we were and as close as we were, because she would, you know, she was stuck in her, she felt she was making a point to me. And then when I pointed out to her why she was wrong, she would sit and go, my mother was just like me. She may not give in right then and there, but she would think about what you said. And if you made it make sense to her, she would come back and tell you, you know, I thought about what you said and you were right. Or maybe I need to think about this in a different way. Like when marriage equality first happened, and I said, if I get married to a man, are you coming? She's like, why would I want to do something stupid like that? Oh, my little feelings was crushed. I was like, did you just say that to me? And she was like, yeah, why would I want to do something stupid like that? I said, so as your son, you would rather me be out here whoring myself with a bunch of different men than to find one man that I want to be with for the rest of my life and marry him. So because you don't agree with it, you would deny me my happiness because it don't fall into line with what you wanted for me. So she thought about it for a second and she was like, well, I didn't think about it like that. No, I said, no, you just thought about the Bible. And you want to sit there and throw the Bible in somebody's face. I said, but last time I checked, you ain't living your life by the Bible. Grandma told you not to get a divorce, and you did it. So she thought about it, and she said, you know, she called me later. Because I moved away from home when I was 21. And didn't have to move back, thank God. But she called me later that night, and she was like, you know, I thought about what you said, and you're right. Who am I to deny you your happiness? If I'm your mother, I want you happy. Whatever your happiness is, as long as you're not hurting you or anybody else, I should be happy for you because you're my son. I said, exactly. I said, so that reaction was like, you know, just stupid to me. And she was like, don't call me stupid. I said, I didn't say you were stupid. I said, the reaction was stupid. And she was like, well, if you were to get married, that's why I told you when my mother would have been there. Because if I wouldn't have had that conversation with her, she would have been just like your mother. And she wouldn't have came because that's what she felt until I broke it down to her like that. I was like, so you would deny me my happiness because it don't fall into line with what you want. But I bet you if I married some woman, you'd be sitting there front and center, and you want me to walk you down the aisle, and you want to have another gown like you did for Tracy and everything else under the sun. I said that would be okay, but because I'm marrying a man, you just says screw your son, screw his happiness. I don't want to be there, and you know. because I can put things in a way to make you feel like this small.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically that's what I did. And she thought about what I said. But it made sense to her. That's the only reason. My mother was very that. She was like me on that aspect. If it don't make sense to her, she's sticking to her guns. Mm-hmm. If you can make what you feel make sense to her, then she have no problem with coming back and telling you, I thought about what you said, and you know, you might have a point.
Yeah, I envy you for that, because it was very difficult for me to have those type of conversations with my mother, because my mother is she's is this a real word? She was an avoider. She, as long as she didn't hear it, she was like your grandmother, like I said. As long as she was in control of the narrative and didn't have to hear it, meaning like if I said to her, Mom, I want to have a conversation with you about me being gay. Oh, no, I don't want to talk about that, Jamel. I don't want to talk about that.
I don't know what my grandmother would have did if I did that. I really don't know what she would have done if I did that.
Yeah.
Because they was like, my sister would push me to tell people. Remember, I don't want to tell them. Even like with my niece. I think it's time Deja knows. I said, Deja knows what? That you're gay. For what? She's 10. What big deal does it make? Like, and then the funny part to me was, me and my sister tells her, you know, somebody in the family is gay, Deja. And she's like, who? She's naming everybody but me. And it was hilarious. And she said, oh, not my dad. Me and my sister lost it. Me and Tracy lost it. I was like, Deja, me. Then that was the funny part. Well, because she was only 10. When we told her I was gay, she goes, oh my God, and I ate his food. So I'm like, what that? We was like, what does that? I ate the food that he cooked. That means I'm gonna be gay. Oh, it was hilarious to me. I was like, Deja, eating food that I cooked doesn't make you gay. You're born gay. I said, do you have feelings for girls? She was like, no. I said, then you're not going to be a lesbian. She said, oh my God, I ate his food. That means I'm gay.
Wow.
I don't know how she associated with eating food.
Yeah. Now,
turning you into who the person is.
Mm-hmm. See, now my sister Kim, she was, she never had a problem with it. I think my sister Kelly kind of struggled with it because my mom struggled with it because my mom and her are so close. And I think she struggled with it. Like, for instance, her not wanting us to come to her wedding. I think she didn't want to have to explain to people, you know, us being married and so on and so forth. My nieces and nephews never had a problem because, you know, I was just Uncle Cree to them, you know. But it was, you know, whenever we got married, I knew, like, I had a sense that this was going to happen, where my family was not going to be a part of my life again. I was going to have to make a choice. I had to make a choice. They made me make a choice. They made me make a choice between my husband and them. And of course, I made the right choice. I chose my husband.
I wouldn't say, I know what you mean, and I get what you're saying, but it really wasn't a choice between me and them. It was a choice between your happiness and them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I think when people do that, it's horrible. Because who are you to tell me to give up my happiness to make you satisfied in your little miserable lives? Because if your life was happy, you wouldn't ask me not to be happy. My version of my happy. Because you live in your version of happy. And that's what I tell people all the time. Because I'll tell you in a minute. I don't care about your little miserable life. My life ain't miserable. Well, if you call that happy girl, hooray for you. I would be miserable if I was you. But who am I to knock your happy? You see what I'm saying? Who am I to knock your happy? You can look at somebody else's life and think that it's horrible, but for them, they're happy. They're happy in what you feel is misery.
Right.
And vice versa. So I never understood why people want to make you make a choice of of something that has nothing to do with them. Absolutely nothing. Your life has nothing to do with anybody else but you. And people need to stop. That's why, I mean, coming out day, coming out week, whatever it is. I swear it was earlier this week, but if it's today, it's today. When people come out, honey, it's for them. It ain't for you.
Right.
It's for them.
Right.
People think it's for you. It's for them, but it's for you. It's for you to live in your truth and for you to say, this is who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of pretending for you all and living for you all. I'm going to live for myself. Mm-hmm. Take it or fuck you. And I guess because I've always had that attitude, like, this might sound bad the way I'm saying, but I just really don't care if I never see my family again. Like, I don't. Yeah. And like, my sister gets so mad at me when yes, that because we are all each other has because my mom is gone. But when it comes to anybody else, it's like, child, if they decide to stop speaking to me today or tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I'm like,
what I'm
supposed, and it took me a long time to get here. You know, Joseph, last year I was in tears every damn day. You know, but that's the attitude I have now. It's like, I don't care if I will never see him again.
But it's different if I did something, like if I did something to Val or I did something to Kyla, right, and they said, well, I'm not speaking to you again. Yes, I might try to fix that. But if the only reason why you're not speaking to me is because I'm married to a man, fuck you. Yeah. Like, for real. Mm-hmm. Like, did I have a say in who the hell you marry? Did I have a say in where you live? Did I have a say in what you do? Did I have a say of who dick you sucking and who you let fucking you? No. So what makes people think they have a right to pick and choose who we talk to and what we do? And then the other shit that you were saying, I need people to stop and think. First of all, I already have 2 strikes against me in this world. I'm black and I'm a black man. So why the hell, on top of being a black man, would I choose to be gay? Right. I don't understand that. When people say we chose to be gay, like, who sits down and says, you know what?
I'm going to be gay.
I want the world to ridicule me. I want to be called names. Mm-hmm. I want to be looked at as less than. And being a black man ain't bad enough. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to be gay. I'm going to be gay. I'm going to show these bitches I'm going to be gay. Who does that? And then, you know, when I say that to people, well, you couldn't have been born that way. Really? I say, okay, so you tell me when you sat down and made a conscious decision that you were going to be straight. Tell me. Because when you tell me that, then I can sit and tell you when I made a conscious decision to be gay. Right. Or tell me when you made a conscious decision to just say, screw it. I'm going to be straight. I'm just going to, you know, fuck it. I want to be talked about. I want to be laughed at. I want people to call me names. I want to be ridiculed. I want to be killed, bullied, possibly killed. Everything else under the sun, because I'm just that. I'm that type of bitch, honey. I'm that girl. I want to take on all of that, mm-hmm. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be gay. Who would do that? Right. Most of us sat and cried and didn't even want to believe we were the way we were. Yeah, I know I did.
I thought about killing myself a couple of times.
Child, I thought about killing myself. Child, I was making deals with God every night. Child, I was the pastor's son. Every night when I went to bed, I was making a deal with God. If you do this, if you change me, I'll do this. If you change me, I'll do that. Tomorrow, I was trying to make a conscious decision to like women. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to look at girls. I'm not going to look at boys. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look at girls. As soon as the man walked past me, I was like, ooh, that's not working.
Right. I was like, I'm going to watch football. I'm going to play baseball. Right. I'm going to wear my pants down. I was going to wear my pants down my goddamn ankles.
I was trying to make conscious decisions to be straight. Yeah. And it just wasn't working.
It didn't work. It didn't work because that's not who I was. Yeah, it's not who I was. And it was, oh my God. It was, y'all just don't know. This is especially in the black community. It's an emotional roller coaster. It is. It's an emotional roller coaster when you discover you're different than everybody else. It's an emotional roller coaster, and it's like going down a dark tunnel and not knowing what's in the tunnel. And when you turn on the light, it ain't nothing but a whole bunch of scary things like big spiders and monsters and so on and so forth. That's what coming out is like. That's what being gay was like for us. It was like going down a tunnel and experiencing all these bad things. And there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You continue on and on and on and on and on and on to experience these things to the day you die. Because let's be real, we will always experience negativity.
Ashley asked a good question that I've heard people say before.
What's that?
How do you feel about some straight black men blaming straight black women because we're friends with gay black men? Some of them feel we allow y'all to be that way. You know what my answer to that is going to be? Well, one, it's stupid, and I don't expect nothing else from our people. And two, because I've heard that before, that y'all allow us to be that way, y'all allow us to, be gay around y'all and all this other extra stuff. Like if we was around them, we still wouldn't be who we are. Why don't you tell them if they thought they could fix it, why don't they stay around their sons? Why don't they stay with the straight black women that they have babies with and raise their sons and see what happens? Because you have a person who was raised with his father that's gay, and you have one who was raised without his father that's gay. Nothing you do is going to stop a girl or a boy from being a lesbian or being gay.
Right.
I don't care if they have both parents, one parent. It is who they is. It is embedded in their DNA. Women can't stop us from being gay.
There's no
men
pill.
Can't stop us from
There's
being
no
gay.
needle. There's no vaccination. There's no nothing. That's what heats me up so bad.
And contrary to popular belief, the Church of God in Christ can't stop you from being gay and make you delivered.
And that's what heats me up so bad about Andrew Caldwell. They have brain damaged this boy so bad about being gay that he really, really feels in his head that he's not gay. And that's why he says the things that he says. He believes the things that he believes. I was watching the other night, and I couldn't watch him no more. I couldn't watch him
when he starts with the whole delivered thing, and because I'm like,
yeah, he's like, if you want to be delivered from being gay, then you got to ask the Lord. And see, that's not how God works.
No, my thing is this. My thing is, if you gonna tell somebody that God brought you out of something, then you should be 100% out of it. God don't do nothing 50%, 30%, 20%. He does things 100%. Like I tell anybody, there was nothing but God that stopped me from wanting to be trans, other than the fact that I was making a bad decision because of church. But when I tell people that, they was like, "You was trans, child," and I'll show them pictures of me, and they'll be in a state of shock. They'll be like, "What? That was you?" I'll be like, "Yeah," because you can't even imagine me looking like a woman, but I did, and I was very convincing at it. Wasn't I pretty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was very convincing at it. My thing is, if God did something, you still not going to get on camera going, "Sis, yes, Miss Thing.
Yeah.
God delivered me, honey."
Well, it's like the Love King said. The Love King said he's doing it to get paid. He is doing it to get paid on YouTube. I mean, to get paid on social media. Period. Because it does sell. It does make him saying him deflecting from that, him denying that, him denouncing that gets him paid. Those people like to hear that. But listen, I don't care, Andrew, and I know you watch our videos. You can say that shit until the cows come home.
And you can wash your collard greens.
What you are. You can wash them collard greens with Dawn all you want to, and bleach and everything else. Child, did you see him wash the collard greens? Jesus.
With Dawn.
With Dawn. With Dawn dishwashing liquid. Now y'all know if somebody washed collard greens with Dawn dishwasher liquid, you know they don't know who the fuck they are.
And then you had some people in the comment section saying that, well, how else you supposed to clean your greens? I said, see, this is why I don't eat at everybody's house.
Yeah.
This is just why I don't eat at everybody's house. Because there was people agreeing with him washing his greens and Dawn. I'm like, what happened to baking soda and salt and sitting the greens and soaking them and what? I don't get it. Then it wasn't even collard greens, it was kale.
Right.
He don't even know the difference between kale and collard greens.
So yeah, and see, it's people like that, and see, and you know the thing is, I don't blame him too much. I blame the church. I blame the church. For the church are the ones that are responsible for Andrew Caldwell.
And brainwashing him and making him think that his life was wrong.
Yeah. Because
now,
all he wanted to do...
Now, see, what I am going to say is this. Maybe some of the things he was doing as a gay man was wrong.
Right.
Because I'm not going to sit here and just condone gay men doing whatever the hell they want, going to parks and sucking dick in parks and
that's what he said.
Stuff like that.
That's what he said. He said, I don't watch porn no more.
Right.
I don't have sex with men no more. He never says that he don't have those desires no more. He says he doesn't do the things that he feels gay men do.
Right. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, yeah, Jesus can take you from being a sex addict. Jesus can take you from cruising the parks and getting slayed in the bathrooms and things of that nature. See, that stuff is just not a part of being gay. It's just a part of you being a whore.
Yeah, being gay ain't all about sex, y'all, and then it's not all about sexuality.
And I ain't saying it about Andrew. I'm saying it about any gay man. All of that extra stuff that y'all be doing, because I ain't never did none of that. Well, no, I ain't never did the parks. I never did the bathrooms. I ain't never did that. Or the train station.
No, me neither, child.
I ain't never did none of that.
Girl. I was never a porn authority girl. Never that.
Never did none of that.
No parts.
So, and I ain't knocking people that did it. I'm just saying, if you want to be delivered from that, I believe in all actuality, it could happen.
Yeah.
You ain't got to go scavenging for sex all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can be delivered from that. But who you are as a person, just because I'm not going to have sex in the park don't mean I'm not gay no more.
Right.
It just means I'm not going to have sex in the park.
Exactly.
That's all it means.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm not watching people screw in the train platform, which I have done that before. I have not watching people screw on the train platform. Doesn't not make me gay.
Rewind.
It just means I'm not watching people on the train platform screw before.
Rewind. What happened?
Hey, in Q's world.
What happened?
What I'm from New York, honey, and the clubs. We would leave the clubs. And
see, I know my husband was a little hoe before we got.
And I know I didn't. Now, see, I ain't gonna lie. It was certain train stations, honey, when you just waiting for the train to go home. If you went in the back of the station while waiting for the train, you could have a good little show with some of the girls that was in the club. Now, I ain't participate in things like that, but I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't never stand there and watch. Or if I was on the platform,
you said you participated.
No, I didn't participate.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was sometimes.
I'm sorry.
No, there was sometimes where I would just be standing there waiting for the train, and some boy come along and decide he want to pleasure himself.
We from New York. I mean, you saw it everywhere.
Just like, okay.
Well, you can see men and women doing that on the train all day in New York. You know. Sure. But
you just gotta know where to go.
You know, listen. I admire anybody that is able, regardless whether you're straight, gay, whatever you are, pansexual, and what. I admire anybody that lives in their truth, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be transparent. It's not easy to be gay. It's not easy to be straight. It ain't easy to be black. It ain't easy to be Puerto Rican. It ain't easy to be nothing in this country except for white. Just as far as I'm concerned.
But my thing is just living your truth. If your truth is you a black woman that like white men, live in that and own it. If your truth is you a black man that like white women, live in that and own it. If you Puerto Rican woman and you like black men. Live in that and own it.
Yeah.
Don't sit around and pretend for all the people around you because they may sit and talk, child, I don't want no white man, can't no white man do nothing for me.
And then when you get found out, you looking stupid.
And then all of a sudden you meet the man of your dreams and now he want to marry you, and now the same people that you sat there and denounced the shit with, you got to bring this white man around them, and they're like, well, bitch,
I thought you didn't like white men.
I thought you didn't like white men. Because, see, now they're going to spin a narrative about you. Oh, well, he must have money. Oh, she doing it because of the money. Oh, he taking care of her. When in actuality, you know that ain't the truth.
Right.
But, see, you sat there in them conversations and you went with it because you didn't want people to know what you really felt or what you really wanted to do. So now when they start spinning narratives about your ass, now you really mad because you know that ain't the truth. And you don't want them to think that about the man that you love and the man that love you, and now they thinking you just a money grubbing gold digger, when in actuality you love the man and the man love you. Because a lot of people do that. I know gay men. I had one, and I kept telling him, girl, you gay. Girl, you gay. And he would sit there and please, you the one. And you think everybody's like you, and da-da-da-da. Oh, go off, honey, and read me. Well, child, one day I was popping through some porn because I had nothing better to do. And I'm looking and I said, that can't possibly be Miss Thing. Yes, honey. The same child that told me I don't know what I'm talking about and I want everybody to be gay, honey, was a porn star. Not with women, but getting his back dug out by some boy in a porno film. Wow. So I made it my business, because you know you can find anybody now on social media. I made it my business to look up that porn name and search that porn name all through the internet until I found him. And I found him on Facebook under his real name. And I hit him up. I said, hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. He said, hey, Joseph, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. Can we talk about, and I put the name of the movie. He said, oh, you saw that. He said, the first time I walked on the set of a movie, I said, ooh, if Joseph could see me now, yeah, bitch. Because I was telling you for years that you was
And
dead.
he was probably talking about it like it was no big deal.
It was no big deal. Oh, now he's a sexpert. He got videos all over the place. And I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him. But see, when you start living in your truth, I'm going to come back and remind you how you lived a lie when I was telling you what your truth was, and you was making it like I was the one that was the
girl,
problem.
you were a Decepticon all this time, girl. You was Optimus Prime. You was a Decepticon. Yes. Gag Nation.
Yeah, Ashley, he just got the hammer on standby.
What?
Ashley said, so you just got the hammer on standby?
Oh, yes, of course. I don't have to go far to find something. I ain't got to go far to find something.
Yeah. So I just say, whatever your truth is, living it. It makes life more easier for you. It might not seem like
hit that like button. Hit that like button.
It might seem like life isn't going to be easy living in your truth, but you feel better that you're living in your truth.
Yeah, you do. Listen. How old was I when we got married? 51? No, 50. 51.
Yeah, because you're going to be 53.
51. Took me to a 51. I was 51 years old when I decided that I was going to stop being ashamed of who I was. It had to come to an end. Even before my husband, it had to come to an end. I just didn't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I lost my family along the way. I did. I lost my family because I'm like, you know, and here's the thing about my family. It's not my whole entire. I had to let my whole entire family go because everybody's saying to me, Tramel, that's your mother. You got to give her a pass. You gotta understand, and da 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 da. I get it. I get how she feels. But just because she feels that way doesn't mean I have to accept her treatment. I don't have to accept her negativity. I don't have to accept her doing the things that she was doing the disrespectful things that she was doing, I don't have to accept that. And so I made a decision. If y'all gonna take her side, see, because if you ain't for me, then you against me. So if y'all gonna take her side, y'all go ahead and take her side. I'll stay over here. And that's what I had to do. And I thank you, Jesus.
But see,
thank you, Jesus, that I am okay. Like here, in my head, I'm fine. I'm fine. This time last year, I was an emotional wreck. Imagine just having to say, I'm not speaking to nobody in my family no more. I don't want to have nothing to do with none of them no more. I don't speak to my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, my sisters, none of them. None of them. You want to take her side? See, because you sitting up here agreeing with her and agreeing with the way she feels, and you agreeing with her. See, I gave all of y'all unconditional love. Y'all are the ones that didn't reciprocate the same thing back to me. So because y'all didn't do that, y'all think I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna allow y'all for the rest of my life to accept? Y'all think I'm gonna accept y'all butts? I'm not doing that. Bye.
But I wanna throw something out here, and I really want to see people's answers in the chat. I really do. Now, y'all know, I'll tell y'all in a minute, I had a good relationship with my mother. I did. I was a mama's boy. I ain't gonna lie, I was. Every day on my way to work, I talked to my mother while I was driving to work. I was a mama's boy in every sense of the word. But one thing that I just never tolerated from my mother was the fact that just because she was my mother, she can say and do whatever she wanted to me. And I don't understand why people have this thing that's your mother. She can do whatever she wants. No, she can't. No, she can't. Your job as a mother is to take care of me from birth until, we'll say 18, 21. If that's what you want to do. After that, I'm grown. After that, I'm on my own. After that, you don't have no more rights to tell me what to do and to tell me how to walk and to tell me how to dress and to tell me what to say and to tell me none of that. I don't understand when people say, oh, that's your mother and she can say whatever she wants or she can do it or don't talk to your mother like that. Tell her don't talk to me like that. Like, everything's done respectfully. I'm not sitting saying, go tell your mother, bitch, listen. No, I ain't saying that. My mother would say things to me like I just told y'all, and I have to check her. I'd be like, Ma, who are you talking to? Do you want me talking to you that way? No. Okay. Well, I'm the mother. Okay, and I'm the son. And what you're not going to do is talk to me like you have lost your mind or I'm 5 years old. I'm grown. It's just that simple. But people let their mothers get away with a whole lot of stuff just because she your mother, honey. No, that title don't give you the opportunity to say and do whatever you want to me. It don't. It just don't. It don't. And then I had to remind her, you don't let grandma do it to you. You don't let your own mother talk to you the way you trying to talk to me or tell you what to do or dictate your life to you. So what make you think that you got... See, it's learned behavior because she's doing it to you. She does it to you, but guess what the learned behavior was for me? I watched how you told her no and how you did what you wanted to do anyway. Or you sat there and listened to her and still did what you wanted to do. And guess what now? I'm in turn doing the same thing back to you. See, my mother could control me the way she can control my sister. So at a certain point, she had no choice but to just say, you know what? I'm done with him like that because it ain't gonna happen. Now my sister, on the other hand, oh honey, when I tell you she can manipulate she manipulated my sister's friends. She manipulated what my sister ate, drank, walked, talked, who she was around, who she wasn't around. She could make my sister mad at somebody. You gonna let them talk to you like that? Pick up the phone and call them and tell them off. Tell them this and tell them that. Me, she could never do that with me. Just cause you my mother. And then my sister get on the phone with me. Oh, you ain't no kind of son. Your mother this and your mother that. I said, so, I don't care. And then even when I was living with my sister, we got into it one day. And she was like, well, mommy said this and mommy said that. And I said, and guess what? I don't give a damn what she had to say to me. Because if she couldn't say it to my face, it ain't worth listening to. Fuck her and fuck it. And Tracy, yeah, she was like, did you just say fuck I said, fuck her and fuck it. Because if she couldn't tell me to my face, I don't give a damn what she thought about me. And that kind of like shocked Tracy into reality.
That was what you think?
Because it was like, but I meant that. Like, I don't care. First of all, both of us was just trying to hurt each other because she didn't know my mother would get on the phone and tell me stuff about her and I knew if my mother was doing it to her baby, honey, that was her precious. I knew she was doing it to her with me. I'm not stupid like that. So I'm not surprised. I know my mother. I know how she operates, honey. I know that. My mother was smiling in your face. Oh, Tramel, da, da, da. As soon as your back is turned, did you see what he had on? Girl, he look a hot mess. Oh, baby, I really like this shirt. And make a fool out of you. Done told everybody she think you look a hot mess and say, oh, you look so nice today. And meanwhile, everybody at the table laughing at your ass because she already told them you look a hot mess. But she going to sit there and tell you, you got to wear this again. You got to wear. Who told you to put this together like that? You are doing it. And everybody at the table laughing at your ass because she already done told everybody you look a hot ass mess. So I knew how my mother was. So,
oh my Lord.
Nor was I surprised. But I'm just saying, I want to know why people think just because it's your mother, she has the right to treat you any old kind of way. And you can't.
I thought that until my pastor let me have it.
And I ain't saying be mean and nasty. Right. But some of y'all, because I'll be watching some of y'all, and I'll be sitting there like, child, if my mother ever talked to me like that, honey, she would have never saw me again. Child,
yeah, he does that. That's so funny. Listen, when like Joseph has said, like witnessed some of the things that my mom used to do to me, and he would do it again. Joseph, how you do it? And
let me tell you something, honey. Some of y'all, child, let me tell y'all. Some of the things that I don't see my friends' mothers do and say to them, I just be sitting there like, honey, you would be lucky if you ever even heard my name, honey. The only way you would even hear my name is if somebody had it in the street, because I'd never speak to you again. You, child.
You know, well, my pastor brought me together. He did. My pastor brought me together. He really told me, he's like, Tramel, you are honoring her by her not being a part of your life. And that made so much sense to me, you know, because I was like trying to go to the Bible and say, well, you know, the Bible say honor your mother and your father. He said, you honoring her by not being a part of her life, because if you was a part of her life, you probably be cussing her out and being disrespectful to her and just, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I mean, he told me a whole lot more than that. But yeah, it took me, listen, parents.
Yes, James, we are.
I know. Listen, parents, I know. And these are for parents, you parents that have young kids. I'm not even talking about the gay thing. Listen, I don't care what it is. I know, listen, parents, I know that you have hopes and dreams for your kids. You have this vision of what you want them to be. You might want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. I know you got them dreams. You might want them to be straight and have children and sometimes it don't happen that way.
Did you feel your parents' dream?
It don't happen that way.
Are you what your mother wanted you to be?
It don't happen that way. I think not.
But we need to pause this for a second, because this comment.
What comment?
First of all, I want to say, Dylan, thank you for watching us. Thank you for watching us, because it just proves me and Tramel's point that everybody don't have to be gay or lesbian to watch us. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, I want to know, well, see, Tramel, I know what he going to say.
Dylon?
No, that's Dylan. Yeah, Dylan Russell. Read that question.
Okay, J&J, enjoy watching y'all. But I'm not gay. I need y'all to...
I need y'all expertise. My wife found 70 deleted text messages between her and the man that worked with her. What would you do about it? Let me tell you something.
Your wife found what?
If I found deleted text messages on Tramel's phone, it depends on what it said. It would depend on what the messages said. Did you read the messages? I mean, it depends on what the message said, because it could just be innocent, and she deleted them because she didn't want you to know that she was talking to another man that she worked with, because you might have thought something that wasn't true. But it depends on what the messages were saying.
Yeah, y'all need to have a conversation about it. You definitely need to have a conversation about it, because if it's bothering you, and it should bother you, it should make you want to go find something.
No, but you need to know what the message
Y'all
said.
need to have a conversation. Y'all need to have a conversation.
But even past that, I agree there need to be a conversation, but it depends on what the messages said. If it was just friendly text messages going back and forth, then the conversation that needs to be had is, why do you think you need to hide talking to another man from me when it's innocent?
Right.
When it's innocent. But if the text messages were saying, oh yeah, you look good in that dress today, and I want to take you and sop you up like a biscuit, oh no. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, we got a problem, Houston. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if it was, well, because it depends on you, Dylan. I mean, it depends. If you are the type of person that gets jealous, then even if it was innocent, she would have deleted it, because then she has to explain. And then even if it is innocent, then it's going to make it more. She has to explain something that's innocent. And if you don't believe her, then it's going to be a bigger deal. Yeah. Now, if it wasn't innocent, then of course. And it's what you said. It can go either way. It could have been innocent.
It's kind of like what James said. James said, he said, I'm a psychotherapist, and it could go both ways. If she deleted them, she's definitely hiding something. If it was innocent, why delete?
Because she stated he came at her sexually, and she stopped texting him.
So they were friends, and they were friends, and so what you're saying is it started out friendly. It started out as platonic, and then it ended up him coming at her in a sexual manner. With me, if that would have went down, like let's say, I was friends with a coworker or something like that, and then they tried to come at me, I'm showing Joseph the messages before I delete them.
Well, my thing is,
I'm showing you. No. I'm just what I'm saying. I'm showing you the messages.
No, but my thing is, why delete them, especially if it's somebody you work with? Because if it gets too out of control, you got ammunition to go to HR.
Right.
So I don't know. That's a double.
Well, maybe she didn't want to. I mean,
it's like the other day. Somebody hit me up on Facebook, and then it was just started going left, and they want to tell me, "Oh, I know your husband. He's such a nice person," and da 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 da. But then every message that was coming to me just started going left. And I'm like, bitch, listen, I don't know what you and your husband do, but I know what me and my husband do. So let me not even entertain these little messages you sending me no more, because I know they going left. And before you go completely left and I say, Tremel, handle this, because see, if I do it, it ain't going to be pretty. Because I'm not hiding nothing, because I ain't nothing to hide. I ain't trying to get with that.
No, Ashley, we don't condone going to the job and beating somebody in the face.
Well, now, Ashley, see,
well,
I did that with an ex of mine. I did. I told the boys.
Now, what we do condone is waiting until he come out the building and having a conversation with him, and if he start trying to talk slick.
The dude didn't even want to. He saw me standing there. He was hiding, ducking and hiding, and I asked my ex, I said, is that him? Because who's that ducking and hiding behind all the, the buildings? And he said, yeah, that's him. I said, oh. I said, well, he thought, when I told him on the phone, when I called him, that I said I would come beat him with a bat, that he thought I was playing.
Right. You mean you talk? I don't talk.
No, I did, because, see, first of all,
I go find something.
No, but first of all, see,
I don't talk. I ain't doing no talking. No,
Joseph,
let me tell you something. Joseph,
no, because you have people that want to play innocent and stupid, and that was my ex. Like, oh, I don't know what he wants. First of all, he texting you 2:00 in the morning, and you laying in bed next to me. First of all, there ain't no reason for you to even be responding to this person's text messages. That's number one. Number two, I took the phone from him and said, well, do you want to get with him? And he was like, no. So I hit bloop. I said, dude, what you need to do is stop texting him right now because he with me and I'm his nigga. And I'm telling you, if you text him again, I will come to the job and bust you in your head with a bat. Click. And he ain't text or nothing else after that. It just so happened that the next day I was taking him to work, and I really wasn't up there for the dude. But the dude saw him get out of the car and saw me get out of the car and give him a hug, so he put two and two together. So now he tiptoeing and hiding in the buildings, behind buildings and stuff because he's scared. I'm like, what you scared for? You wasn't scared when he told you he had a man. So what you scared for now? What you scared for? Be a man. Be the same. Have that same energy you had 2 o'clock in the morning texting him now that I'm standing in your face. Have that same energy.
Now, James, I kind of feel, I see, I understand where you're coming from, but, you know, I feel as though if there was never any other incidents like this, I would give the benefit of the doubt. Yes, and I would get down to the bottom of it. I would want to get down to the bottom of it. And once I got down to the bottom of it, then I can proceed from there. But you know, just straight up just not believing it, and you know, I don't do scenarios. I don't do those. I don't do, well, you know, a man wouldn't do this, and a man may, you know, if a man gonna try to talk to a woman, he gonna do it right away. I don't go with scenario because everybody is different. Every situation is different.
No, even if he did it right away, what if she tried to deflect? What if she tried? He went this way, and she tried to bring him back because she didn't want to have a situation.
But see, James' thing is, he's like, she should have just
stopped
talking
what I'm saying,
to him.
No, agreed. But some people, because she works with him.
I get it, right, James? Your thing is she should, and see, that's how I am. The moment
she should have went right.
The moment you disrespect me by trying to hit on me, and you know I'm married, that's it. It's a wrap. But everybody ain't like that. Like, if let's say my husband wasn't like that, and he would, like you just was getting ready to say, you tried to redirect it. And still at the same time not get upset about it, getting your feelings about it, but try to have a conversation with the person saying like, nah, I don't get down like that. You know, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just, it depends on the situation. It depends. You know, it's and if my husband don't have no track record of that type of behavior, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's just that. Well, my spouse. I don't know about boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff like that, but my spouse, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, y'all, it was a wonderful Sunday with you guys.
Yes, I have to go and cook. I'm making baked spaghetti today.
He's making baked spaghetti. There's always a goddamn reason to go to the store with you. Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
Well, you gotta show me where.
But anyway, it's always a reason to go to the store with your money. Always a reason. I don't care. Always a reason. We need water. We need butter. We need a clove.
I ain't never heard somebody complain.
Can't never have one day without going to the store because there's always a need for something. Matter of fact, go to Dwayne and Ray house. They just did a whole Walmart.
What they gonna do? They gonna send it by drone,
and it still won't get here in time.
Right.
But anyway, y'all, make sure you follow us on all social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course right here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know every time we drop a video or go live. And if you want to become part of the McRae Kingz Kingdom, you hit that join button. If you don't see the join button, the link is in the description box, as well as our merchandise link is in the description box too. So if you want to get you some McRae Kingz merchandise, hoodies, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all kind of stuff. Go to the McRae Kingz boutique and purchase you some merchandise. If you want to support the McRae Kingz platform, there's the Cash App right there. Or if you don't use Cash App, go in the description box. There are other ways that you can support our platform other than Cash App. And make sure after this live is over that you go over to MJ&J family.
Coffee with the king.
Oh, you just noticed that again?
No.
Make sure you go over to MJ&J family and check out her video that is about to start in 1 minute. And with that being said, please make it the best Sunday ever. Enjoy it. Only you can make it a good Sunday. And walk in peace, love, sunshine, and happiness. And always remember,
it's Team McRae.
All damn day.
Talk to you soon.
Later.
Bye. You always complain about going to the store. Don't you want to get some more popcorn? You said that popcorn was terrible. It's today's movie day. We need some popcorn.
Child, that popcorn